It's the tail end of the 12 months, and with it comes any other annual megastar Wars film. With its launch, as constantly, comes a flurry of Star Wars branded products, and the OnePlus 5T isn't any exception, launching a unique Mega Star Wars version OnePlus 5T on December 14, to coincide with the new movie's launch date. The news, as shared via OnePlus India over the weekend, appears to suggest that this special Mega Star Wars version OnePlus 5T won't be launching in every other territories, so UK celebrity Wars fanatics may pass over out. It's a shame too, due to the fact as far as licensing offers cross, this doesn't seem like only a shameless cash seize just like the others. The handset itself appears very pleasant, with the Mega Star Wars brand subtly embellished at the rear, and the facet setup strength button highlighted in crimson, with what looks as if some type of Star Wars themed Android overlay too. OnePlus telephones have continually been moderately priced. However, while it released the OnePlus 5 at £450, I used to be worried it'd become the skinny quid of the wedge. Fortuitously, the OnePlus 5T arrests the slow but steady growth in fee we've seen during the last few fashions and holds it consistent at £450. On that proof, you would possibly have predicted the OnePlus 5T to be a minor upgrade, however not a bit of it. That is a phone that, thanks to its bigger aspect-to-side display, seems extra like an annual upgrade than the mid-time period refresh it turned into imagined to be. So, right down to brass tacks, what is the OnePlus 5T and what makes it so special? That's a pretty easy query to reply. It takes all of the elements of the OnePlus 5, affordable fee, satisfactory layout, great overall performance and a great digital camera, and gives it an additional little bit of polish. It's an Android 7 Nougat phone with an Area-to-Edge 6 in AMOLED screen that's certainly beautiful, a class-leading Snapdragon 835 processor, and a new twin camera that focuses on low mild images. You could release it together with your face or by means of using the newly placed rear fingerprint reader, and OnePlus has squeezed all of this into a chassis that's slightly any larger than the 5.5 in OnePlus 5. In spite of the brand new display and camera, the rate of the OnePlus 5T is precisely similar to the OnePlus 5, £449 for the 64GB model and £499 for the 128GB model. Both editions represent spectacular value for money in nowadays, admittedly fairly inflated, phone market. In fact, nothing else, other than the Nokia 8 and Samsung Galaxy S8, which you can pick up for round £500 now, techniques the price of the OnePlus 5T. For the ones wanting a cell phone with a greater glamorous look, twin SIM, and microSD growth talents, the Honor 9 is a great shout, but it doesn't have the same massive display or pinnacle degree processing energy that the OnePlus 5 has. Its resolution is 1080x2160, giving a pixel density of 401 ppi and, on first inspection, it's sharp and clean with OnePlus traditional shiny sweet-colored default wallpaper, giving it a vibrant, fun appearance that grabs your interest without delay. Like different producers, OnePlus has chosen to barely round off the corners of its show, even though now not quite to the quantity of the ill-fated Google Pixel 2 XL, and the screen stretches almost, however no longer pretty, to the edges of the chassis on the left and right, leaving a trifling ½ centimeter of bezel above and under the display screen. Technically, the screen is quite accurate, too, even though it could pretty suit the quality in the Enterprise. Shade duplicate, particularly, is superb. With the sRGB calibration mode selected, the phone changed into capable of reproduce 98.4% of that color space and, with correct accuracy throughout the vast spectrum of colors, it copes nicely with all varieties of cloth. Peak brightness, on the other hand, is slightly disappointing, reaching only 420 CD/M2 even with vehicle brightness enabled, which means in truly bright conditions it'll be difficult to read without shading the display screen together with your hand. Having said that, OnePlus does rent a polarizing layer to cut glare, and it arranges the polarizer sensibly, too, diagonally, so it doesn't black out the display when you're sporting polarizing sun shades. It's pretty a dramatic trade over the OnePlus 5, but OnePlus has kept the modifications to a minimal someplace else, physically at least. Spin the phone around in your hand with the display off, and, to start with, you might warfare to tell the difference between vintage and new. The profile of the rounded corners and rear panel curves is near identical to the vintage cell phone, and OnePlus has even shaped and positioned the plastic antenna bands in precisely the same manner.